friends. How we doing? So we know this is the time I'm going to talk to myself for a minute till you guys see me. How we doing? Happy Friday night. Yay. We'll wait till the connection's working. And I see some people on here. We'll see how it goes. Can you guys see me yet? There, you can see me now, right? We'll see. My connection doesn't look great tonight. We'll see how tonight goes. But hello, friends. I see friends here talking to me on the YouTubes. And then, oh, I see. Hello, Jennifer Manitawabi. Hi, Irene. How are you? Kristen, Pamela, Connie. Hello, Kari. How's your trip going? How's the event with the 3 scrap chicks? I hope you guys are having a good time. Lindsay, Heather, Darlene. Hello, friends. How we doing? Very excited for tonight. For as simple as the tools that we're using, this technique has like maximum wow fun impact. So hi Marlo, hi Keisha, Julie, how are you guys doing? Very excited. So lots of friends here tonight. I said it could go 2 ways because I have a surprise guest I'm going to bring on later. And that I'm not scrapping by myself tonight. I'm not crafting and making the mixed media art by myself. My friend's here. So I will bring her on. So we'll start like we always do, is lots to chat about, things to catch up on, and then we'll get right into the art. So this is like, what, lesson 3 of our creative foundations reboot, like that book that I think you're in that book, aren't you? Yeah, I think you are. Didn't you? I'm sure you did samples in that book. You'll have to, wherever it is. Here, take a look. Remind yourself from 2000 and whatever it was, 2000 BC. So hello, how we doing? How was your week? Hello, Yessie. I have not seen you talking to me because that's how it is, because I can't hear you. I actually see you chat for a long time. How are we doing? Did you guys have a good week? It is freaking freezing here tonight. It was very mild, and then it started to snow and blow, and all the plans I had for my guest who's here with me tonight, I'm like, do you care if we go out in the winters tomorrow, or can we find something to do where it's warm? Hi, Valerie. I hate winter. I'm done. I liked it. No, I don't think I ever liked it. I'm a liar. I don't think I ever liked it. I tolerated it, but now I find I'm old and my skin and blood is thin. I don't like it. I can never get warm. Hi, Natalie. How are you? Hi, Catherine, Angie. So yeah, the week was a good one. This was a fast one. Did you guys find like this week kind of just sped by? But things I want to talk about. So Natalie has reached out to me, and I've got lots of emails saying, when is Vicki going to put up the Where To Next event weekend? Because for any of you sleuths, you might have been on vickybooten.com and saw that it's the banners up, and I've done the art stuff is added on vickybooten.com, but if you click on it, there's nothing there because I haven't put it live yet. So I'm working on it with my friend after the live tonight to get it all posted and put up on vickybooten.com. The pre-order for Where To Next weekend event is going to go up, and I'm super excited because there's going to be some little added changes and fun new things. You know how we do the bonus layouts, and I just kind of get around to it, and I'll show you. They're here somewhere. Great. I can't give away who's here. See that, the 2 layouts I showed you underneath there? So not that one, those 2. Thank you. Those 3, it's a stack. We had done the bonus layout. So I thought, guess what I'm going to add in there? So we're going to make some changes because, we've talked about the prices of things are going up and things are happening that we talked about the kit amount's going to go up a little bit, but because I want to add value in there, I'm going to do an extra day. So I know some of you might be like, another day with you. And some of you will be like, yay, another day. So you know how we do we're doing the prep days now. We're going to be doing the card technique night. That is our opener for the event, the album day, the layout day. And then the following weekend, I'm going to do another full live day of bonus layouts using all the extras, Plus, I'm going to be doing some fun things with some of the new items that are coming out with my collections. So how that's going to work is you're going to still get that big, huge kit. I am going to also do on my site a add-on kit bundle that can go in your box that is some of the new items that you can then either you can choose to purchase those or not. And then I'm going to do some shaker boxes with them, and it's going to be another full day that you can join live or watch after the fact. So right, I wanted that you guys, like you said, great value. The value is always there, but I thought, what can I add to make another freaking fly in here? Do you see it? I keep telling everybody I don't have a dead body in the other room. I don't know where the flies are coming from. It's winter outside. How's there a fly in my house? Just flew into my head while you guys were watching me. So I thought, let's do another day of just doing the things. So what I'm trying to say is I got distracted by the fly is the kit is going to go live tomorrow as a pre-order. It is also going to have 2 bundle packs. One you can add into your kit box if you order the kit and you want to get the extras that I'm going to bundle at a special value that can fit in the box. There's going to be a bigger bundle with, say, the new black foundations paper, the watercolor paint, some other things that cannot go in the kit box. It's too heavy, it's too big, it won't fit. So I'm going to send a newsletter out tonight. It might come out at midnight, but I won't open it up until 12 p.m. Eastern time. So that gives you guys a chance to get up, have your coffee, and read the newsletter. You don't have to stay up waiting for it tonight. So just changes, right? Like as we evolve and grow and are doing things different, I'm just trying to up the game, make it more fun, add on. I think there's so much value in the education part. I was talking to Natalie today and I said, how many hours of live did I do? And she goes, well, your album class was 10 hours. I'm like, well, I'm going to try to fix that where the content's still there, but maybe you don't have to spend 10 hours with me on a Saturday. But I think it was almost 30 hours. So I thought, hey, let's just add another like 5 on there. So it's going to be good. I think you guys will enjoy it. I haven't done the walkthrough yet of where to next because I don't have a few like the paper pad, the cards, the 6x8. So I can do the walkthrough. We can do it next week. I just won't have those things to show you. I reached out to American Crafts, but it was later in the week, so I didn't hear back yet. So I don't know what you want to see if I wait to show you. And that's why I'm going to put it live because you guys have been asking. I've been getting lots of emails. And then whenever you want to commit or bite the bullet or sign up and get the kit, you guys can do that. But it'll all be listed there. You guys will see which stencils, which stamp I'm going to use with it. I am going to try to get samples made early on this one. And then don't forget, product doesn't start shipping from American Crafts till around March 20th. So by the time it gets on that big truck and makes its way here, we kit it. Kits will probably start shipping and product will be in your hand, I'd say end of April. And I'm going to plan the event for, I want to be safe so everybody gets a chance to get their kits. I think end of May or into June. I'm going to look at my calendar tonight and you'll get that information. I will also, because I want to make it really easy, Natalie and I are going to be doing something fun together where she's going to come over and help me film a walkthrough of how the Facebook group works. So if this was your first time, you will see we have it all very structured and laid out, and it's going to be even better the next time. But I want to do a video where walks you through where it's like, if you are on a PC, this is where you find guides. If you are on if you're Apple products, this is where you find it. It's what it looks like on your phone, what it looks like on your tablets. Well, as many of the things as I have that I can show you, but I just want to make it better. Not June 10th, please. Tyson's wedding. You get a daughter. That's so exciting, Kelly. But yeah, I'm going to look at the calendar and we have to look at holidays and all those things. But again, it is going to be the weekend event with the prep because I think you guys loved that is cutting down some of the like math parts and because I'm really good at the maths. Really good at the math. I'm not at all. Yeah, it's going to be good. So I'm just trying to up it, make it better every time. So if it is something you are interested, if you've done the classes with me before, if you did access only and you're like, I really want to get a kit this time, it was so much fun, I'm in. If you've never heard of it, you can check it out tomorrow on vickybooten.com. The details will be there. Like I said, a humongous kit with a huge value, plus the value of you get me for free for now, what's it going to be, 30 hours, 85 days? It's going to be good. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prep tonight the Facebook group so that you have the link you can save. It will not open until closer to the event, but I want it to be right in the description so you guys can go in and save it in your Facebooks early. So it's all there. So I'm just trying to, everything I can think ahead of any of the feedback that I've got, I'm trying to work on and make it an even better experience for you guys. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, you can go to vickybooten.com, and the first thing that will pop up is a pop-up box that you can sign up for my newsletter. I know some of you guys sign up and you don't get them. I have no control over the restrictions that your email puts on it. I will see right at the end exactly who's bounced, and I'll be able to check it out. So say you send me an email tomorrow afternoon and you're like, I didn't get the newsletter. First thing to do, search Vicky Booten in your email, because it could go in your junk file. It could go in your promotions file if you're on Gmail and some of the other emails. And if not, I can look at it and tell you that you have to sign up with a different email because it's bouncing and I have no control over that one. Okay. So that'll be good. Question. Can you hold your left hand so you can see my ring? Yes. Can you see it? It's always back. Look at it's backwards. Can you see it? And this is Old Navy. And I got my nails done today too. And my sweater is from, I'll remember at some point tonight, and then I'll just randomly yell it out and you'll be like, what is she talking about? Three Bird Nest. Have you heard of it? Three Birds Nest. It is a very, what do you call that? Kind of vintage girl, kind of flower girl. What is that called? I forget what the style is, but isn't it? It's fun, right? It's a really big, fun, loose sweater you wear with tank top. So that's it. Three Birds Nest. That's a favorite store. And another favorite store is, believe it or not, it's Almost Vicky. I don't know how you say it, but V-I-C-I. You got to check that one out online. I find some good stuff. Are you still doing Gina? Yes, I'm still doing it. It's going great. I ate a cookie today though. And I went to the Cheesecake Factory last night and had a bite of cheesecake. But other than that, good. And you know, it's not a lie. I went on the scale today and I lost 4 ounces. So I know, sorry. My friend who's here with me tonight's doing Gina too. And she is like, that's not fair. I'm like, see, so it is. You can do the things and just get your water in and all the rest, but it's good. So boho, that's the word. That is a very big thing for me. I like really cool boho fashion. Not all of it. Some of it, if it's a big box, I don't love, but yes. And you saw my friend Valerie said she recognizes it because I opened it when I had it delivered to her house too, right? So yay, it's good. Yes. So long weekend here. Is it in the US? Is it a long weekend? What is it? President's Day. It's Family Day in Canada because what happens here in Canada, we were mad that the Americans had a holiday and we don't have a long weekend in February. So we just made one up and it's called Family Day. And I don't know, what about other provinces? What is it, Serenity, where you are? Is it Family Day where you are? I don't know if that's right across Canada, but it's Family Day here. And we just decided to make up a holiday and I'll take it. So it's a long weekend here too. Very exciting. Okay, so tonight, what are we doing? We are doing Crayon Resist. Oh, I wanted to show you too. Because if you weren't, oh my goodness, right? So my friend who's here, she actually was in my book that we're working on tonight. But look how fun. We did from our scraps from the print shop weekend. So this is the kind of stuff we do in our weekend events. So if you love layouts, we ended up doing 12 layouts and a 170,500 page album. It's a big one. And then look at with the stamp set. So lots of fun things, right? It's going to be good. The fly. It's you. If you guys remember the one Friday night I did, it flew into my mouth, and thank goodness I closed my mouth right before it went in there, because I would have had to quit Friday Night Lives moving forward after I ate a fly. So Nicole's saying in Manitoba it's Louis Riel. Is that how I say that? I forget. Louis Riel Day. I see there's a whole bunch of different things. So here in Ontario, it's Family Day. In Saskatchewan, it's Family Day. Louis Riel Heritage Day. So you know us Canadians, we just like to mix it all up. So it's different right across the whole country. So exciting. I'm telling you, there's a cadaver in the product room behind. I said, Natalie was here and there were flies everywhere. I said, you saw Rich, you saw proof of life. Did not murder him and put him in the basement. So it's super exciting. So my friend Kari is sitting with my other friend Jody Ellis, and I think she's with my other friend Lil Conkar. Is she there yet? So very exciting. There's lots of you that are doing that. Here in Oz, it's 40 degrees Celsius today. No, Don Marie. I say hard pass on that. That's too freaking hot. Like, what is that in Fahrenheit? Like 100 or more? No, that's hot. See, I don't like the cold, and I do not do well in sweltering heat either, but it's better than the cold. I'll take it. Yes, you got to meet Lael. Very exciting. So tonight is going to be Crayon Resist. And I have to tell you that this is going to be a fun technique. So I whipped this up literally in a minute just to have an image to put with the little opener, or whatever you call it, the little picture on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. So we're going to be doing this tonight. So I'm going to show you a couple different applications, but this is literally just the tip of the iceberg, what you can do with, it's like Resist in a stick. You don't have to heat set it or do anything. It's something you could steal from your kids' giant pack of Crayola, like the best thing in the world, because the white doesn't show up in their coloring books anyway, so they aren't going to miss it. So it is an awesome Resist technique. Mardi Gras weekend in Louisiana, starting with the parades everywhere. That's exciting. I want some crawfish etouffee. Every time I think about that, is one of the best meals I ever had. I need to come and have some crawfish etouffee and a hurricane. And you can pick me up off the floor, right? So very exciting. So I am going to introduce my friend, my special guest, who was supposed to get here yesterday at 11, but she arrived at 7:30 or something, and then I got stuck at the border and she had to wait outside. So this is my friend, probably one of my, I won't say oldest, but longest crafting friend, like one of my first scrapbooking partners, my friend Greta Hammond. So hello, Greta. Say hello.
I'm used to watching you without talking.
Yeah. So she watches Friday Night Lives, but just is a lurker, quietly watching. But yeah, we were crafting when our kids were babies.
Born.
Yeah, the girls were just born. So that is like 19 years, right? 5 years, because we're still that young. They're just 5 now. Just 5. I just hit 30. So very exciting. But I thought it would be fun tonight because Greta is an amazing crafter, scrapbooker, now does a lot of stuff with Queen and Company, beautiful cards and die cutting and shaker boxes and just beautiful, fun, bright, colorful cards. But do you do a lot of mixed media?
I know.
No. So you see, I like to bring you all in my fold. So tonight,
probably the last time for that book.
Yeah, when she worked on the book with me. So she is in. If you look through, you'll see her daughter and is that her friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, her daughter and her friend are in the book. So very exciting. So if you guys have been around for a long time like us, you probably will remember Greta she won a Hall of Fame with me with creating Keepsakes magazine. So we did that. We worked at Little Yellow Bicycle together. We worked Scenic Route together. So if you guys remember, she's been around for a long time. So she's here to just cause trouble with me this weekend. And then I'm like, and now you have to do the live with me because my friends are going to be waiting for us tonight. So it's going to be exciting. I'm going to flip the camera now. We have 2 stations set up. And she's like, put the camera more on yours. And I said, you can hang out as long as you want. If she doesn't want to do this and just wants to sit and watch, she can. So we'll see. It's going to be fun. Can you, what can I bring to Oz in November? Friends, I bring all my friends. Question, does Greta have a YouTube? No, but no. She's more of a quieter. The cards though, where can they see your cards?
On Queen and Company. Queen and Company has like
a website, like .com, and
mm-hmm.
they have a Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then a private one if you.
And then like on Pinterest.
Yeah. Pinterest. Yes. So you will see her, and her name is like in a banner on the bottom that will say that Greta Hammond made that card. So now you'll be looking for it. So are you guys familiar with Queen and Company? We worked together on Queen and Company years ago too. When Wendy used to do a lot more scrapbooking, and now it's more stamps, dies, and all the fun things shakers to fit in it, foam shakers. So yeah, a lot of fun. So definitely check her out. Like I said, we scrapbooked together. That's where we started. We were full on when this industry was ginormous. We laughed. Like, I'm like, do you remember?
A year.
Yeah, we'd be at 3 trade shows a year. We would be doing like 10, 15 to 100 million design teams. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I am gonna flip the camera around, not remove. Here we go. And did you notice the volume was working and everything tonight? So I'm winning tonight. Good things are happening. So for tonight, what you're going to need, I'm just going to adjust now my light, is we're going to talk about things, right? Like keys to success. And one thing that you are going to realize is, again tonight, does your paper that you're working with, does it matter? Does it alter the art that you're going to get? And I would say it could, and I want to talk to you about why that is. And the other thing I think is fun with having Greta here doing it is she's going to have questions that might be the same questions you guys have, because you don't do some of these techniques or mixed media really a lot, right? So it's going to be a lot of fun. So yay! All the share sale links are up in the comment section of this post. Thank you, Natalie. She sent them to me earlier today, but we have been out doing. We went to, if you guys follow me, you know, when I hit that, the watering can, that garden center. So Greta and I went for dinner or lunch today. And then went and got her nails done because Greta was like, I'm like, you need to get the dip. It's my favorite thing. So if you're my friend, I just make you do all the things I like, right? Any of my friends that have been around here, Natalie will tell you, Nicole will tell you, anybody who hangs out with me, I really do pressure you guys into doing the things I like. So you got bit by the Vicky bug today. So a fun thing, we talked about this for the Crayon Resist, and I put this as week 3 for a reason, because I wanted you to get a chance to locate a white crayon. So one of the questions was, let me grab something here. Can we use Vicky's white art crayon? No, because it's not wax. So it won't create a resist. It's water soluble. So when you wipe it off with anything wet, you'll wipe it off, right? So the difference is these are wax. So could you use beeswax? Yes. Could you use a candle? Yes. You need something that will be like, not, what would you call that? Not like, what is the scientific, not semi, what is the word I'm looking for? You want it to have that resist. Like if I put water on this, it would bead, right? Semi-pervious, what is that? Can you guys help me? Somebody is like a pervious membrane, you know, that kind of thing. Like, I don't know why it popped in my head, but I shouldn't have even said it out loud because I don't even know what it's called. Non-porous, but there's a word that's in there that I'm gonna have to look up later because it's in my head and now I got to figure out what it is. But you need it to be waxy. So when we put distress ink or anything on, it's going to be stable. It's a stable thing. The other thing that will impact your art, permeable. Thank you. It's like non-permeable. Thank you. Impermeable. I'll take it. Alex for 10, non-permeable surface. See, you guys got my back. You understand what I was trying to go for. So when you put it on your surface, and we're going to rub distress ink on top or whatever, you can try different mediums, play with your mediums. One, your medium needs to be a transparent medium. Could you use oxides on this? I think you could. I think you could, because you could wipe it off first with a paper towel, and then you could go in with a semi-damp baby wipe. If you go in too wet, you're going to move your distress inks together or around, because they are water soluble. So just kind of remember that. This is a horrible game of verbal Pictionary. Stop judging me. I was doing the best I can. Impervious. Is that, I think, is the word, right? But can you define that for me, Pam White? Because
It sounds really good.
impervious. I like that. Impervious means you can't penetrate it, right? You can't go through it. I think that's the word. So I can't look it up on my, but Spirit Junkie, that was freaking hilarious. You win the internet tonight, right? This is a horrible game of verbal Pictionary. I love it. So
not allowing fluids to pass through.
I love it. It is, I love it. Impervious. See, I was trying to sound really smart, but I kind of failed, I think. But thank you. Thank you for coming. We are a team here, coming to my aid and not making me sound like a dum-dum. So what I was saying so things that are going to affect, you want the crayon to be some version. Could you use a yellow crayon? You could, but you're going to have to deal with that. Have yellow, like a yellow resist. Why I use white is it's white on a background. I was going to say, could you use black? Well, it depends what medium you're using. If the medium was like a watercolor, it should work. It should still work. You could use that, but you could use a white crayon and remove it as well. Because that's what I was saying. White crayon really doesn't have a pigment in it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like why when I wanted to make Barbie's pupils white around her blue eye, it never worked. I was always mad at the white crayon. So it will be perfect for this, right? I do that in class all the time, big words, and I just giggle, right? I feel so smart because I still feel like I have no business doing any of this stuff in the first place. So the other thing that will factor in is the same dealio tonight is if your paper is porous, like a regular sheet of cardstock, or say you're using printer paper, it may not react the same as foundations paper that has that sizing on top, which means the pigment sits on top, doesn't soak right into the paper right away. Why would that factor in? Because this is not a solid white crayon. If your pigment is wet and goes underneath and behind, it's going to shine through that resist. So you won't have that crisp whiteness. The other thing I'm going to share with you tonight is we could do this like batik. Have you guys heard of batik? Where it is, you would do masking on silk and it would give that really fun pattern. Well, why I make stuff up all the time. So I'm calling it batik. I don't even know if it's the same thing, but in my head, it makes sense. Is we are going to, when this is done, you could take either a piece of tissue paper and an iron, and you could iron it to remove the wax, or I'm going to try it through the silhouette tonight. Not silhouette, the mink tonight. I'm going to put it on high heat, put a piece of tissue on top, and see if I can melt the wax. So, because you see how it has that shine? Because it's wax, right? So it has that kind of shine to it. I think that'll be a really fun thing to remove it with. Would Yupo? How does distress ink work on Yupo? That would be my question, Susan. I bet you it would work with Yupo and alcohol ink. I'm sure the wax would still resist the alcohol ink. And here's what I say to you, Suzanne. Try it, post it on the group. I want to see what results you get. Remember when I said tonight is really about just touching the tip of the iceberg with what this you could do with a freaking white wax crayon. So let's get into it. Want to do some stuff? Could I just gesso the paper to let the pigment sit on top? I've tried it before. Is it CC? It doesn't work super well. So I'm going to say I would rather just trust the paper you have. I think you will get a good enough result because kids do this in kindergarten, and you know the kindergarten teacher is not investing in a $12 pad of paper. They could be using just construction paper. I'm just saying, just if you're looking and you're like, why is it look different on Vicky's? It's all dependent on the paper you're using. So to be honest with you, I would say don't put any mediums. Don't put anything on top of it, because the other thing that gesso does is it resists distress ink. So I'm going to say let's just trust the paper you have and know that your result might look slightly different than mine, but it's still going to work. Does that make sense? You're upside down this week. Am I? Oh, just a second. Can I jiggle you guys around? Is it going to be okay? Watch. Better? I fixed it, I think, right? Is it better? There you go. Sorry for the Blair Witch. Is that better? I was wondering why it looked. I have not been drinking tonight either, so just know that. Oh my goodness, Julie, you're always the best. Yes, and my phone is plugged in. I was just so happy the volume was working. And then, yeah, we're upside down. Okay, fixed. So I gave Greta, I didn't give Greta any yet paper. I'm going to give you some paper. So she's using foundation as well. And remember that this whole series is about trying new things. We're not making anything with it yet, because really tonight it could all look like crap, but understanding how the mediums work. And then this is like, the first time you try something, you might not be perfect. Like if I was skiing for the first time, I might fall a lot, but if I love it, I'm going to keep doing it, and I'll be doing tricks and flips and all those things. Never happening, but you get what I'm saying with these techniques tonight. Doodle, scribble, do the things. It'll all be fine. I just want you to see how the resist will work. But for later, when you do homework with us or you're practicing and playing, remember, we're going to be using these to create backgrounds, cards, die cuts. We're making really our own pattern paper. So again, you can put the whole rainbow on a page, but still do some that are nice, quiet, monochromatic patterns. Okay. Question. I have a 12 by 12 piece of foundations paper. Should I cut it down into smaller pieces? You can if you want, Joyce. But you can also do everything on one page and then cut it apart later. So you totally can do whatever makes you happy. Like there's really no rules in this. I had sketched some stuff out. Okay. So I have some ideas. We're going to just play. You ready? The one thing you're not going to see is it's hard to see the pattern you're going to put on the background because it's white on white. So just pick it up and you can see the shine, right? So if you want to look, but for the first one, when we do this, just go for it. Decide what pattern you want to make, right? So I am going to grab its foundations and let's do circles to start, like something simple like that, or hearts, stars, whatever you want to do. And you just want to make sure you get enough wax down. That will be your biggest thing, is to just give her and get enough wax down so it will actually resist. But remember, we're just practicing and playing, so it might not look perfect that first time. It's totally going to be okay. So I'm only going to do half my page just to show you. So now I can pick it up, see, and I can see them. I can see the kind of glare of that. And I'm going to do something where I just go in and I'm going to put some little kind of star patterns in a few of them, just so we can see something fun. Okay, so you can't see it all what I did. I just scribbled some circles. You cannot see that, right? Oh, sorry. We have these people selling sex all the time.
Yep.
Well, right? It's like, come on. it's a bunch of ladies on here, and guys. We have lots of guys that are creating with us too, that come on here and start. Oh, see? I'm not lying.
He's like,
sorry, Greta. Greta got extra mixed. I just crushed the flower on her art. Or the fly in her art. Let's go in with shaded lilac. So what I'm going to do is we have lots of, we'll just put the ink blender on top if you want to use the same color, okay? So I'm going to do this one totally in monochromatic, but watch, you ready? So brush off the kind of little waxy bits because it'll get on your blending tool. You could use a blending brush. You could use a makeup sponge, whatever. Try different inks, but oh my goodness, like look at that magic. How easy was this? So if you craft with your kids, your grandkids, your teacher, well, if you're a teacher, you've done this technique before. I am not reinventing the wheel on any Friday Night Live. I'm just maybe getting you to look at it a different way and find different uses for it, right? But how fun is that? So any pattern you could think up, we could do, okay? Look how pretty with that shaded lilac. So you can take any of these and pick whatever color you want. Do you use Distress ink at all, Greta? A little bit. Any questions, friends? Greta, you can use lumberjack red to blend the fly blood in on your paper. My 8-year-old grandniece is on and playing. She will love this, Cindy, right? Look it.
what do we use? Do I need to change?
No, all of them are clean. Okay. So, yep. And put your pad flat. It's easier to load, right? And better to pounce so you don't fray your pad. So I'm going to leave this with this color. So if you decide you want to use this, look it, right? Look it. So could I go in too and put like another color in here with them? I sure could. There's no rules, right? So say I want to go in with a little uncharted mariner, and then I could just highlight the center of my circles with a second color. Right. And what's nice with the Distress ink, it's going to wipe right off there. So you could go in here when you're done with your paper towel, and you can totally buff that. I don't even need to use a baby wipe, right? If you remove the wax at the end, then you could stamp on it. That's what I'm saying. So that's the kind of batik thing is by, can you use any ink? Try it, Dawn. You know, I'm a fan of Distress ink because they're blendable, they're water soluble. So like, right, I could come on here and I could still do my watermarking if I wanted to on here and give it kind of that distressy kind of look, right? So now look at, right? Easiest way, magic with these Distress inks. And then I could still go in if I wanted to. And as that dries, we'll, right, highlight some of that to give it like a baby blue over top of the water marking. And then by putting this through, which I'll show you at the end, I'm going to grab the whole mink and we'll put it through with a piece of tissue on top. I can remove all the wax, and then you're removing the resist. So you can stamp on top, do lots of fun techniques, right? Hi, Lindsay. Because it shows up just a girl in her paper. Is there a reason you would use Distress inks over oxide? Distress oxide has a little bit of a milkiness to it. It is not as transparent as regular Distress. So let's do the bottom half. So we know the top half is with Distress ink, and I will grab Shaded Lilac and Uncharted Mariner behind me. Just a sec, let me find them. What was that purple again?
Shaded Lilac.
Shaded Lilac, I found it. So let's do the same thing in oxide, and I'll show you because I have the things and I'm happily here to show you what results you'll get. So let's see. Can you use them? You sure could. You could. There's no reason you can't. You're just going to get a little bit different outcome, right? What do you think, Greta?
About what?
Doing the mixed media, right? But what? I don't know. The weather.
It's cold.
Right? It's fun though, right? I love these. So remember, I could mix my blending tools a little bit if I'm using Distress ink. I cannot with oxide. It has to have its own blending tool because you will contaminate your pad. So let's see what it looks like.
Cute.
They love the pink and orange.
Me too.
Me too. I love that color palette. Love that you say my name correct. Aussie's not the same. What, Dawn Marie? What do people say? Do they say Mary? How would they say it differently? I'm curious now. Okay, so I put my wax down. Can you run it through a laminator? Yes, anything with heat. You could put an iron on top of it. So 100%, Jennifer. Yeah, I'm just going to use the mink because I have one, right? So let's see, how is this going to be different with the, do you see you don't have the crispness? Mm-hmm. But I'm going to wipe that with a baby wipe and we'll see if we can't lift some of the pigment because this ink is not, it is milky instead of being transparent like regular Distress. So if you only have oxide ink, use oxide ink, right? You know, I'm a, what do you call that? I won't, an opportunity, whatever. What Vicky tried, stop trying to bring the dialogue guns out tonight. It's
all the big words.
Stop trying to sound like you know what you're talking about. Just kind of make your art because I'm having trouble tonight. Okay, so using the exact same color palette. Okay, so it's the wax is picking the color up a little bit, but it doesn't mean with all inclusive. Yeah. And like I told you, in the early days when oxide first came out, a lot of people got rid of their Distress ink because they're like, I love it. It stamps better. I just love it. And I'm like, I love it too, but I love both of them because they do different things, right? So the other thing that you will find with oxide is they don't blend to make a new color like the Distress ink does, right? It's like, it looks like it's sitting on top. Mm-hmm. So like I said, do I look very vibrant? Look at the difference in the color, but it's also leaving a shadow of pigment. I'm going to try to blend around a little bit so it doesn't have that dark line. Right. Now let's see when we'll watermark it and see what happens. Like when I watermark it, I will first lift the pigment and then I'll buff my wax and see if that's staining. Can you see it? Very vibrant white, right? Mm-hmm. This is actually, although this is kind of a different technique, right? So let's just watermark on there. Oop. We'll pick it up. You do not discriminate. Yes, but equal opportunity enabler. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you, Dion, for helping me sound smart. So now I've picked that water up, but let's buff the wax and see when there's water. It's still, see, different. It just doesn't have the crispness. Do I dislike it? No, just a different look. And we'll see when we put it through. Let's remember, because I won't remember. We're going to say Distress ink. And then Distress Oxide. Well, I would be able to look at it and see, but we'll pretend. And when we put it through the mink, which you do not have a mink, you could put tissue paper on top and you could iron it and it will lift the wax. These techniques have been around forever. You might have remember, like, I remember doing this in Mrs. Sally's class, or I don't know, I just made that up. But, right? Very fun. So I want to see what happens when I do this. Let's look on book paper, because book paper, really, really porous. Let's see what kind of effect that you get. Now, this is all in French. And like I said, bad stuff could be discussed in this, and I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. So let's go hearts on here. I'm going to do hearts because it could be talking about like torturing animals, and I'm putting hearts all over it. I don't know. So I know my French friends are going to be out there trying to read. And they're going to be like, you should have saw what Vicky was, the book she really should learn the language. So we were talking about some blasphemous stuff. I don't know. So now porous. Let's see if what I was talking about, right? Happens. So I'm going to go, I'm not going to use the oxides just because I have to have a blender for each color, but now we've tested that. So let's go in. What color do we want to use? I want something very contrast. Let's go in with Mermaid Lagoon. And on Distress Ink, I want to let's do the kissing technique on the next one. Will you remind me?
Yes.
She goes, yes, no guarantees, but I'm going to try to remind you. Why do you remove the crayon? To get the shiny wax off there. Do you have to remove the crayon? No, you don't. But your adhesive might not glue as well to it because it's going to resist lots of things. Flaky. Yep, the flakiness of it. But let's see now, very porous paper. Oh, but look. Ooh, how fun is this?
Right there. I like that.
Right? Well, we could really go in with a different color on each heart, right? You could have rainbow hearts. Now this one though, because the paper's porous, but see what I'm saying? So can you see what I'm saying about this ink is going to very much absorb into the background of the paper. Very much going to absorb in there. And it's actually a cool technique. So I can see the ink coming through the wax. Mm-hmm. Very fun. Don't read the paper, my French friends. I feel like it's probably not saying good things on here. I don't know, but I think that's like some death. I bought it at a flea market when I was in Paris. I was just excited to get a really old, distressy book. But like I said, I don't know. It's probably not a good thing. Now people are probably out there going, I gotta really read what that says and then go tell everybody that Vicky's a weirdo. And then everybody who knows me will be like, and you didn't know that already? Oh my goodness, I love it on the book paper, friends, right? Love it on the book paper, and it's just a freaking wax crayon. And look at that. Did you have to invest a ton tonight? Not at all. So now, like, you could really be testing it on lots of different substrates, mediums, backgrounds, right? I love that. Don't you love that? Do you draw a wax coffin for the fly? Oh, I love that. No, but I'm just glad we got it. Kill that sucker. So very fun. I'm not going to watermark or do anything with this one, but I love it. And let's see where you see, and it almost does look white on there too, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Very fun technique. So kissing technique. I got wax all over my pad, so I'm going to clean that off, right? Okay. I love Mermaid Lagoon, favorite color. So why I'm going to do the kissing technique is, let's see, when I draw a pattern and we put wet medium on top, what's going to happen? I don't know. Let's see. So I have a sheet of plastic, which is going to be what I put the wet distress ink on. And let's do, I don't know what pattern. So I am going to, let's try this. I was saying to Gret, I think this could be fun earlier, is what happens if I use the side of my crayon and I kind of make stripes. Let's see what happens. So I love the book paper too, Brenda. Really fun. Hi, Judy Wakefield. How are you? So many of my friends I haven't seen in 100 million years. It's very exciting when you guys pop on here. So I would say really I'm going to do stripes. It's way easier to do stripes like this. So we're going to see, but I want more stripes to show. So I'm going to try on the short. So we're going to see how this works. So I just want to see what we will get. And I am not putting, I don't think, a ton of wax down, but we'll see. I really want it to look broken. So see, even, do you remember, guys, that I was telling you? So you can do whatever you want, Greta, if you're like,
I'll wait for you.
you want to try the sideways one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. And then I'm just going to do some lines in here. So even as I'm playing, I'm like, things pop into my head that I think could be cool to try. So I'm going to turn it side. Oh, there's wax on. Oh, it could be really cool. Let's see. So I'm excited for this. So we'll see. I might wreck it doing the kissing technique and I might have to try it again. Okay, we'll see. So I want a pigment. I'm going to go, let's do peacock feathers on my thing. Peacock feathers. And I'm going to do a little bit of Uncharted Mariner. So if you're out there and you're like, I just found you on the interwebs tonight and I have no clue what you're doing. What's this all about? Any kind of crafting you're doing, really, you're making your own backgrounds. So I'm doing the kissing technique. So what is happening here is I call this the kissing technique because we're going to do like faux watercolor. Like watercolor, I feel like everybody can do because you're not using a brush or anything. You're just going to add color. So we are going to put this pigment down and get this really fun background.
Oh, yeah.
But what we're going to have to do is I can't buff this off until it dries. So this is going to have to sit and just kind of percolate. I'm going to do this technique again, though, using the Distress.
Did you ever do when you like did the colors and then you did black over the black crayon and then you scratched it?
Yeah, the scratchy technique, right? So yeah, that'd be fun too, right? So you can see, but that draggy one, let's just let it dry. We'll let it dry. So we're going to see with the kissing technique, which is, I like to do all the time, but I have to see this technique again. So
This looks like
Greta is doing exactly what I'm going to do now is I want to see what it looks like. You have to give her with the ink though, because it will be one that you have to put a lot of pigment down. So let's see.
I don't know if I got enough
wax on there.
Yeah.
So let's try it again though, right? So what do we think, friends? Is anybody playing along tonight? Ombre would be totally awesome. Let's do that with the crayon right now, right? What is a scratchy technique? So it means I would draw a whole background or put color down and then you color black crayon over the whole thing, very heavy. And then you would scratch a pattern in and it would show the rainbow underneath it. Do you guys remember doing that? And you can actually buy that art where the pigment's on and it's all covered in black wax. And then you scratch your pattern in top. So you don't have to do any of it. Yeah. So I'm going to do the stripies again. And then let's see with some ombre on top.
have enough wax.
Yeah, I'm giving her with the wax, okay? So what in my head I'm thinking this will look like is, what is that? ICAT pattern? Is that how you say that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Greta's acting like I'm making stuff up.
You are.
ICAT. IKAT. ICAT. Patty whack. Give dog bone. Hello from Perth in Western Australia. Hello from Houston, Texas. ICAT. Is that how I say it though, Brenda? ICAT or ICAT? I'm just making stuff up now. Let's go in with okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do Twisted Citron at the top. It might not be dark enough though to reveal this. Ooh, it's good. Watch. So I got to really layer the ink on, okay? But I'm really digging this. But you're going to see, you aren't going to see this really well. Look at, I'm going to give her. Watch. Let's get deposit pigment. Oh, see it?
Yeah, that's what this kind of.
Okay. Let's go in now with some cracked pistachio. Could you do this on every paper? No. Remember, Foundations paper has a kind of a sizing on top of it, and that's why I could actually blend in the ink on top. So it is very subtle, but very pretty. So can you see?
Oh, that's cool.
Look at that.
Ombre.
I'm going to go in dark on the bottom. Let's go in with Mermaid Lagoon. ECOT. Is that how I say it, Brenda? Thank you. Look at all the things I'm learning tonight. Oh, you can see. See? This is the darker, the pigment you put down. Okay. Let's wipe up because this is going to make me twitch. So I'm using the same blending tool because I can with Distress ink because I'm not going to contaminate anything. So now I am just going to do this. Is that Mermaid? Is that the one I just used?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want lots of pigment on here. So see what we had here is that's the side of the crayon. So it actually makes a distress kind of jobby here. But because it is, oh, geez, Vicky.
I'm excited.
Because it is distress, I can totally go in here and rub this and soften all that color. And now when we put it through the heat and the wax, that would remove. And you would just be left with that really kind of broken pigment, right? So I like that. It all will wash off. Greta's looking at her hands going, what the heck is this madness? So I want to do kind of an all over pattern. So I'm going to start doing kind of like, I think almost like a layered kind of circles. Like, what do you call that? Almost. Oops, what happened?
Well,
you ripped the whole thing off. It's okay. That happens. Greta's afraid I'm going to make her sleep out in the snow today because she pulled the backing off the, what do you call that?
The Velcro.
Blending tool. Yeah, but I'm not going to make her stay outside. Now, don't forget, like, too, I could really sit and be very thoughtful in the pattern that I'm adding. But for tonight, I'm just trying to put an all-over pattern that I can then come in and ink the whole background. So I'm going to show you this in a second. The other thing I thought would be fun, what if we did it on a ready-made background and then put a darker pigment on top? So what other pattern? Is there a pattern? I'm going to do like fake handwriting. I'm just going to pick my sharper one. So let's say I'm doing like little scribbly, jiggly looks like handwriting, right? So I'm pressing pretty hard, okay, friends? So now we'd have to go in with a darker color, right? And I might want to just put somewhere more that yellow would show through. So I'm just doing some hearts in with that. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to go in with, look at this is going to get, Natalie is going to be excited. I'm going in with black. Well, gray, the hickory smoke, okay? See you later, Julie. Okay, that's not the one I'm going to use right now. Not going to use that one right yet. Yeah, make it look like a doctor wrote it. Yeah, where you can't read it, right? So I'm getting the extra wax off just so I don't put it all in my ink pad. And now let's see the reveal. So what would happen, right? Greta. How fun is this? Who knew, right? Wax crayon. There's my very scribbly heart. Can you guys see that?
Mic is muted.
Mic is muted.
Oh no, it just came down on you.
No, it's, oh, the mic on the laptop is.
Oh.
Can you stamp on it? Yes. After, yeah, that's why we're going to take the wax off. With the next step we're going to do when I'm done a few samples is I'm going to go and put it through my mink with tissue paper. So look at that. It's fun, right? Maybe don't do that. Couldn't see what I was drawing, right? So I'm like, I just kind of made a mess. But totally loving this. And remember, if you want to layer the distress, this has got to dry a little bit, because if I just kind of keep putting distress ink on it, what happens is you just move the same pigment around. So if I want to make it darker, I'm going to let that dry a bit. Do you love that, Natalie? This is, right? Totally up your, what is a mink? A mink is a foiling tool, but you could use an iron with wax paper. You could use a laminator. The only reason, right, is it's heat and pressure at the same time. So, oh, I love that. So yes, if you want to stamp on top, like say you're a card maker and you're like, I love this. I want to make kind of like a mixed media background, but then I want to go in and stamp some flowers on top, because the wax will resist your stamping ink, right? You're going to be stamping on top of like a skating rink. So yes, you would take, but you do not have to have a special tool, an iron and a piece of tissue paper, because you want something that will absorb. Don't do those. It was really cool till you get to my scribbled hearts, right? It's like, it looked good until you made that mess. But totally digging this, and it's already on a ready-made background. So it's a ready-made background, but could you do this on something you had inked and stenciled? 100%, right? I love that. Look at that reveal. Just don't do that, because it looks like my kid got a hold of it and scribbled on it after. Totally digging that, right? And I love the white and the yellow. So this paper is more porous. Can you see the pattern through it? Yeah. Very pretty. Okay. What else did I want to show you? Oh, here, I thought this would be a cool thing. So it does a little bit, but it's in the paper, right?
Yeah.
So it's like because this is textured paper, it actually, the crayon didn't go in the little nooks and crannies. So it's actually kind of really awesome. Like it adds a whole other layer of technique, right? Yeah, I think you could stamp anything over after you lift that wax. The other thing you could do, ideas. Okay, let's stamp on top.
Yeah.
So let's go in something that will not be a mess on top, but it's got to be dark. I'm going to go in there just because it's what's in front of me, right? So this is not the best stamping ink in the world, but I want to show you that, right? Should resist.
Should I use that art pen?
No, because I want it to wipe off. But it needs to go in the waxier areas, right? Don't want wet. Okay, now let's see. A little bit. It'll work better if we do it on that one. So look.
That's cool.
The letters are going to pop through, right? But when you take the wax off, let's do it on something that has a little bit more wax on it. We'll do it on this one after we color it, okay? So this is that one I was just kind of did an all over pattern. And I don't care about color tonight. I'm just going to drop pigment on, okay? So it's more about just showing you guys.
I'm getting in the way.
No, you're not. Any questions? Those heart scribbles are there to remind you where you put your heart ephemera. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to go in now with right persimmon. And I want to show you this kind of all over pattern, right? I'm going to do it in one color. I'm not going to get all freaky. Okay. Look at, made your own pattern paper. My paper moved on me, but because it's foundations paper, it's way more forgiving with your distress ink because did you see what I just did? And I had that on regular paper, you could never blend that out. Well, it sits on top of foundations. So if you're always like, I always make a mess with my distress ink, try it on a sheet of foundations. Like even you'll see my fingerprint because I am lifting the pigment off of it because the paper has almost a little bit of a shiny surface on it. Okay. All right. So this is going to be, you had a wipe, right? I'm going to show you some stuffs here. Okay. So I am going to put one more layer of wax on top. Okay. So what could we do? I'm just going to repeat the circles, okay? Just keep it easy. But what should happen now is this is on top of the orange. Okay. So this layer of wax should be on top of that pigment that we already deposited. So when we go to remove this is like, I'm not sitting and being deliberate with the pattern. So don't, like you're like, Vicky can't draw anything. It's going to be a little bit of a hot mess right now, but we're okay with that because wait till the reveal. Can I have a paper towel, Greta? Thank you. Ooh, look how pretty. Right? So I'm going to go over some of these areas now and in maybe some of the pink. Do you still have, is this what you used?
Yeah.
Let's see. And I'm going to do one more layer as well. So I'm going to try to find, look what just happened, Greta. So I will put this up closer. Guess what happened? Where I deposited that wax is going to have that first orange is underneath. Okay. So I'm going to have the white resist and the orange resist. And then I'm going to show you one more thing. Do you see it happening, friends? See how that's pink and then you see the orange through? It's because I put the wax on top of the orange that I already deposited. So when we go and remove, oh, it's actually really awesome. I just really need a lot of pigment on there. Oh, now do you see it, Greta? Look at that.
That's fun.
Right? Do you like that? I need, what do you call that? Like I keep saying, do you see that, Greta?
You need reassurance.
Reassurance. Are you looking, Greta? So, are you watching me, Greta? Are you going, ooh, that you're so good, Vicky? Oh, I love it. So now I'm going to do one more thing. And then we're going to turn that mink on and show you the reveal. Okay. So like I said, kind of a hot mess. Oh, where was that? Can I have that circle? So I want to do just a couple of them up one side in the Uncharted Mariner. Okay. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for 1 sec. I'm going to grab something, friends. Oh, I have some Tim Holtz stuff here. Let's just figure something. Too much of it. Just give me 1 sec. It's got to be just the right thing. Oh, there's some gluten stencils. Let's look.
There's stencils over here that you had.
There's something that. This.
That's fun.
Okay, so I don't want to go too dark on this. I'm going to have to pick a pigment. Let's see what happens with fossilized amber on top of it. So I'm going to buff these off now because it should be dry enough. I don't want to move that blue around as well. See? Can't do it. It's foundations. So don't do what I just did. Well, it's kind of cool. See? There was wax behind it. I didn't know. Okay, look at. So now it's like, what did you do first? What came first, right? So it buffed off. Now watch. Do I want to use it? Yeah, whatever. Just go for it, Vicky. So let's use, how we doing, friends? What reminds you of Austin Powers? Yeah, baby. Is Uncharted Mariner close to Chip Sapphire? Totally different. I have to say, for the blues that I have from Tim, it's one of my favorites. But I'm still waiting for one that is a deeper navy. So I'm hoping one day. I'm going to buff that off. So I'm going to go over this in Fossilized Amber, even though it is a lighter shade of the yellow, like it's lighter than what I put down. I'm still hoping you'll be able to see this pattern over top. Oop.
Whoops. Sorry about that.
What broke the crayon? I'm all right. We don't cry over broken crayons. Yeah. So let's see. Is it going to show enough? Should have picked a better color. It's there, but you can't see it. So we'll just pretend you can. So we'll buff that off. I'm going to lay that on and pick another color because you can't even see it, so it's not going to ruin anything. The contrast isn't enough, friends, because it's a lighter color. They're transparent colors, so you're not really going to see it, right? So let me pick. Let's do purple. Look at this. You will see that. So now purple and orange can sometimes make mud, but we're going to go for it because that's what we do, right? On Friday. Oops, that's oxide. I almost cheated. Can't do that. I need to have distress ink. I'm throwing stuff everywhere, just so we know. Just so we're clear. That stuff you hear that's flying around is me throwing stuff around. Okay. I'm going to go in with Distress. Woo. So now we're putting purple on yellow and craziness is just ensuing. And if you know me, I don't normally. I would keep the colors pretty bright and clean, but I think this is going to be cool. Wait till you see this. With a freaking crayon. Oh, look, now you can see. Look at that, right?
It looks like
fun, right?
bathroom in the 70s.
But look, now it just went behind the pattern.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All that just went behind the pattern. So that pattern I just laid down, as soon as I buffed it off, I just lifted it all. So it's like, did she put that on before the crayon, after the crayon? So now I am going to put this through my silhouette mink. And I'm going to show you something else that hopefully, if it works, can be super magical. I have a mess here, Greta.
It's okay. You told me it's okay.
This is fun, though, isn't it? Because here's the thing is when you sit down and do this, so my friends that start joining in and doing the things that don't normally do the things because you're like, okay, I can handle an investment in a wax crayon. Vicky's not making me go out and buy really super expensive tools. And I think this would be fun to try. And I agree. It will be fun to try. So I have some tissue type paper that should absorb the wax. Oh, here, we have this one too. That's me throwing it all on the floor too, just so you know. That's happening. This was that one we dragged the pigment. So I'm all right with this. I'm just going to lift this off. But what I'm going to do now is take something that contrasts a little bit, but not too much. So we'll go with cracked pistachio. There's ink everywhere. It's what happens, but it's what's magical and fun. Hello, Sue. How are you? Because I want to really reveal. Okay, we're doing this because I don't have the time to mess around with that. So I'm not going to do it everywhere, but I'm going to highlight some of these stripies, right? Oop. Okay, I'm going to take a baby wipe now. And then wipe some of this off. Can you use a white colored pencil for this? You might be able to. Irma, you won't have the softness you would for a crayon, but I would say yes. I think a white pencil would work. I think it would work. So I'd say, yes, please do that. Let's see what happens. So this is really wet. I don't want that much moisture. So what I do is I only want a semi-damp. So I will take the paper towel and I'll soak most of the moisture out of it so we can buff off the wax areas. But remember, it's Distress ink. If it's too wet, I'm going to lift the pigment off too. But let's see what happens with some of these now. If we go in, oh, this is really pretty, friends. But this is a technique, the one where I drag the crayon, that will work better if you use darker colors because it doesn't contrast enough, right? But can you see? That pattern is where the wax is, right? Okay, so I got to stop because this is what happens with these kind of things. I could just keep going. And like I said, the patterns I'm creating are kind of a hot mess because I'm just doing it on the fly. if you really sat and you were kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? More specific, or kind of take your time with your pattern, you could make some amazing things, right? I like the contrast. Less can be more. Yeah, very subtle, right? You should make a background as a for future paper pack. Yeah, that would be super fun, right? So I want to do this so you guys can see it. And let's hope I don't blow fuses, because I have 10 million things plugged in. I'm going to make it pretty hot. So it is going to, when it's ready, we'll go to a 5. And what do we have? What do we have to look at, right? I want to do something quick while we're waiting, okay? While we're waiting for that to heat. I'm going to do like super, super simple pattern in a light color. Oh, here, let's do this. I wanted to do this. Watch what I'm going to do. Okay. They could be other colors, but the color, if you heat it, intentional. Thank you very much, Gretchen. You guys are my people tonight, helping Vicky with her recall memory is not working so well tonight. You could use a yellow crayon on here, but you won't, the pigment won't go away. It's always going to be yellow, right? More intentional. That's what I was trying to go for. So I've put the green background on here, right? But we have some white too. So I'm just doing circles, just because circles are easy, okay? But I want a lot of wax on here so we really can see that greeny pattern. Okay. It's ready. Can you smell it? Stinky. Not you guys. I was talking more to Greta. Can you smell it? Okay, so we have that light green. Now, you know what I'm going to go over top of this in? This will be right up Natalie's alley. Let's go over it in the gray. Oh, where is it? I cleaned up, don't you know? Hickory smoke. So let's see what we get now that we put pigment down instead of on white. Ooh, look at that. So I hope that, ooh, look what I just did. I bent it. So now there's picking up different pigment. So see, it doesn't have to be on white. It could be on a colored background, right? Let's see what happens now when we remove the wax. See, doesn't matter how much space you have, it's never enough. Never enough, okay? So what I'm going to do is put it through the mink, which is heat and pressure to lift some of the pigment up. Or pardon me, to lift the wax up. And then I want to show you, I'm going to see if something will work that I'm hoping will work on top of this. Right? Because really, when you think about it, when we lift this wax up, it should give me a porous background again. And then why couldn't I go in with another color? Right? So it has to be a color that isn't going to totally change everything else that's going on. But we'll see. But do you remember doing this? Like I used to do this with crayons, and then we'd use an iron. And we'd sandwich it between paper, and you would iron it. I just bought petal crayons wax, hoping that will work. Try it, right? Try it. You never know. So we'll see if this is coming up or if I'd have to iron it. It might have to put it through more than once too. Because I can't, like, it's hard for me to bring an iron down here and work with it. So we'll see what we get, okay? But there's so many things. So many things are going through my head that you really could do. I could stencil a background and then put wax over top of the whole, like, sections of it. Like, tons of layers could happen. So did it lift? I can hear it. Can you hear that? I think it lifted. It feels like it did. It doesn't, there's no shine on here. Let's just put it through twice just to be safe. But I feel like that melted the wax. So I'm going to put it in again. Like I said, did I put that in? We'll know if I just ruin my, because you can't put these in sideways. It will wheel through your rollers. Right. Question. I love the long paper with the blue and green. What colors did you use on this one? We kissed it with no. What were the colors we used?
I think you used the lagoon. Right?
Yes, I think it was I rubbed it finally in cracked pistachio, but I used peacock feathers, mermaid lagoon, and then rubbed stripes of cracked pistachio over it. So they're beautiful trio of colors. So yeah, I love that one, right? And with the kissing, so the kissing is not going to show you the resist as much because it's very speckly. And so I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you want really defined pattern, you would lay an even amount of ink down. So we have this one we're going to see too, right, with our distress. So I'm going to take the wax off of a bunch of these and do the next thing that I was thinking. So what do we think, friends? Is anybody playing or at least planning on? Because I always say there's a lot of you here watching, but a lot of times you don't talk to me because you're doing other things or you're not sure how to comment. I love, though, that it took the wax off that. I love that. That almost looks like I took a chalk crayon on it, like, because it's not totally smooth, right? You have all those broken things, and I'm going to come revisit it with like what did we say? What, you guys help me. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Vicky. I want an intentional pattern when I'm sitting down and I can do where I'm not live. Like, it's hard sometimes to come up with ideas on the fly that aren't dumb. So I will do it with some intention, but let's take some wax. So can you see the shine on it? I hope it shows on the camera. It's very shiny. So what happens when we put it through with the heat pressure, because you could do this with an iron, just make sure you don't iron it naked. Didn't say don't iron naked, because that's dangerous. Don't do that either. Like, don't cook bacon naked. That's bad. I meant don't just put your iron directly on the wax. Like, you have to put something on top of it to not ruin your iron. Right? Hi from Puerto Rico. Hola, Puerto Rico. I never say it right. Puerto Rico. Not Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Hola, chica. Can't find a crayon. I know, right? But you will be able to, right? You will be able to. Folding laundry, hope to play tomorrow. Me too, Tara. I hope you get time to play. Late to the party, watching, but will play. You do see, though, right? Like, I'm hoping lots of little fireworks are going in your head, that all the different things you could do with this. Because like I said, this is all on the fly, just kind of thinking, and I scribbled. I really did just scribble on everything, but I think fun. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Question. So you don't need a new piece of parchment? Will the previously removed wax redeposit? Probably. We'll see what happens, Dawn. Ideally, I would say yeah. Friend, that is a good question that I probably should have put new paper on, but I was lazy and I would have had to find some. So yes, we're going to see. But look, the shine's gone. Can you see that? Really brightens that pattern up too, right? I love that. So yes, would it matter? It only will matter if we're trying to stamp. So see, that didn't really lift. One didn't lift on the oxide side, but it did on this. That's weird. Didn't lift on the oxide side. Totally lifted on this side. Let's put it through. And with a new piece of tissue. So why would it matter? It would matter if I wanted to stamp on top of it. So we'll see if the difference. Yeah, I'm going to put the whole piece on top. And I'm going to put that through twice. Because maybe I just went heavier with the wax. I don't know why. That'll be okay. Yeah. So I am loving this. So now we can go by stamping after you take the wax on. It means your stamp pattern is going to go everywhere. If you stamped before you put the wax pattern on, the wax would resist the stamp. Does that make sense? Right? So if I stamp on top of this, the stamping will go in the white. If I would have stamped before I put it through and lifted the wax, when I remove it, like say I put text all over that. Oh, let's do it on something. Let's do it on here. Okay, I'm going to get, while this is going through, let me grab a text thing. Text is good because it's just easy to see. One solid pattern. I have one that looks like library text. Let's do that. Okay, let's pick a darker color. We'll do that Mariner one again, right? So I'm just going to ink it, stamp it on top, and you'll see, right? Question: Can you also ink the tissue paper to see if the wax? Oh my goodness, what did I do? Oh no, that's what I was doing there. Sorry. Can you also ink the tissue paper and see if the wax resist will transfer? Can you ink tissue paper and see if Can you also ink the tissue paper to see if the wax resist has transferred? Yes. I understand what you're saying. So the first one we used, it should, if there's enough wax on there, it really should. Weird. It's better though, I think. So let's do it with a new one. I'll do it on this side. Okay. We'll do it with this when we're done on the other side, and let's try it. That's a great question. I had to think about it though, so I apologize. I'm like, what am I reading? I'm not reading it right. This one I want to do, right? So let's see what happens. It could be majestical. So I'm only going to ink up one side. I move it because I don't know how level my table is. I'm stamping on my table right now. That's how Vicky rolls. Here you go, Greta. Greta's like so excited. I'm back taking care of Vicky again because she's been my handler for years. Okay, so remember,
That's me.
It's on foundations. So if I go right now and wipe it, I'm going to wipe this off too. So let's see what happens. See what happens. So yes, if there's enough wax on the paper, that is 100% a true thing, right? That it should transfer to the tissue and give you the positive pattern from the wax, right? So where is the one, which one did we use? Any of these?
Not that one.
This one?
We use that one.
Is it this one? Mm-hmm. And it depends how porous the thing is, but, oh, I can see it. Yeah. We can see it. Let's see what happens. Again, I'm just inking with dark because it should be the one to show us a reveal. I don't care. Let's see. So great question. Ready? I can see it on there. I don't know if it's going to reveal. What do you think? And ink blending on these is so hard. I don't know. It should. We can see the pattern. Maybe it's on the wrong side. No, it's not. I can see it. You guys can't, but I can. But look, it's not heavy enough to actually show you a pattern. Oh, maybe a little bit there. Can you guys see it a little bit? Can you see it a little bit right there? So I'd have to say I love the idea of trying to make that happen. You would have to probably go very heavy with the wax because tissue is so porous. So we can do this again. Hi, Kathy. Can you get a large print stamp to carry in your shop to purchase? Working on it. All the stamps that I've been using, I reached out to my friend, and I'm going to be putting, ooh, this one really stuck. I'm going to be putting a script stamp and a text stamp in my store. It's coming. So now that should be dry a little bit, right? Let's take my wipe I put somewhere. Oh, and see what happens. See, it might not lift because it's not going to lift because I took the wax off. Yeah, let's try that again on one of my other ones. But if I would have wiped it off, but now I heated it into the paper, right? But now this paper's completely flat. There's no wax on it. So if you wanted to stamp, it won't resist. But I want to show you that because I think that is a cool thing. So let's just quickly show you what I was talking about. Okay. Quickly show you what I was talking about. And I'm going to make it really easy where it is just more like a solid circly thing, right? Because this, I think you guys will like this. Circles are just easy, right? But I want it in the white and I want it on. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to go and put some, little bit of pigment just so you can see it. Okay. Okay, let's buff that pigment off. Oh, look at that. Totally lifted. So we're still getting that bright white in there. Okay, look at that. That's a reveal. So now I'm going to take that stamp and I'll do it again was able to use a silver crayon to accent over a pre-printed mixed media paper. So cool. That is a whole technique in itself, right? That is awesome. So I don't want a rectangle of pigment, so I will wipe some of that off. Soften it up. Okay. Now let's go in. See, friends? The text is all behind the pattern now.
That's cool.
Look at how cool that is, right? So all the text is behind the pattern. Let's go in. So now look at the green that was behind comes through the wax. The text is behind. Very fun. Going to do something else that one of my favorite things to do. Let's just go in now. Vicky's making a kind of mixed media-ish background. Let's go in with something dark. Greasy milk. I want black. Let's see if black soot will work. And I'm going to do oxide. I'm going to go in with the oxide. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Sorry, friends, I'm not reading your comments because then I start concentrating on the art part. So let me put this on here. Okay. Now I want to gently, because I don't want to rub that ink around, lift it. Because really ideally, I would let the distress dry and then start rubbing to remove the pigment. Because, right, it's on a waxy surface. That means that it's like open material. Well, we'll just go for it. But you see what I'm saying? I'm going to transfer some ink. So it's not going to be, ooh, but look. Do you see that? Now they are not going to be on that wax. But we need to go in with some more. Really kind of load that up. So you could stamp a butterfly. Like I would even try a big pattern. Like imagine I put a big butterfly across here. Because it's such a defined pattern, you will really be able to see broken butterfly and the stamped butterfly. But see, like when I go to move some of these, right, you're going to move that pigment around. So it will kind of muddy it up a bit. But do you see that, friends? So now let's go and, hi, Casey, how are you? I'm going to put this through and lift it. And something magical should be able to happen. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit with wet. I'm going to go and lift. I want to brighten that back up. Try to remove as much as the black, right? So do you see that? Total white came back to the top, right? Oh my goodness, friends. And because it was oxide, it kind of presses through some of that broken crayon. So magical stuff happens. It's magical. Did I put this one through? I did. So remember, the wax is lifted off this. So I wanted to show you this. So what happens if I go in it now with a yellow? Because that's light. I should be able to color all that white because now there's no wax on it. So we'll see. Did I deposit wax or did we lift? Oh, we lifted it. So now look it. It's not white anymore behind there. Now I can make it yellow. So I can deposit a whole new color on top of there because we've removed the wax. So just imagine some of the things you could do and play, right? Is that a wet or dry paper towel you use? The last one was wet because I'm trying to lift some of the black I deposited by rubbing wet ink all over it. So let's go. I love that. Look at that. So we could leave some white. We could make some yellow. Look how fun is that? Because we have lifted the wax off. So now look at the depth that created. Mm-hmm. So what's on top? What's on the bottom? What layer came where? Because of everything that you do with that crayon. And I want you, because really, again, remember I said, just touching the surface. There is so much you could do with this technique, even just while I'm playing, like 100 different applications start popping through my head. Teal, wood, lovely on that orange. The only thing you have to remember though, right? These are transparent inks. So if you put teal on it, you're not going to get teal. You're going to get a version of teal and orange, brown. Like it'll be a dirtier color. So keep that in mind. To keep the layer protected, to add teal, you would put the wax on top and then take, wax on, wax off. Totally Julianne Bennett. Wax on, wax off. Mr. What's his name? Mr. What was his name? Mr. Oh my goodness. What is it from Karate Kid? What did the Pat dude, what was his character's name? Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi. Oh my goodness, Vicky should just stop trying. I should just stop. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi. Vicky. Mr. Magoo. Have you tried distressed glaze on top? You could totally do it, but that will be permanent resist, right? So you could totally do that to seal it, right? So much fun though tonight, guys, don't you think? And Greta made a mess. It's all Greta's mess. It's not Vicky's mess. So, right? I was thinking it would seal. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yes, to seal the color, Stacy, 100%, and then to put another pigment on top. It'd be interesting to see how the two mediums would work, right? How will the wax react with the distressed glaze on top? Definitely, and that is where the whole fun comes with all of this, right? How archival is wax for your photos? I don't know, Wendy, and I'm not that crafter. So, you know what I mean? I figure none of our photos usually are emulsion based anymore. We print them with color printers. So I have no clue how long these are going to last. So I never have been of that school. So I'm the worst person to ask, right? What's that? Yep. It's totally gone now. It's smooth. Oh my goodness. It's like this beautiful piece of art that was created. And yeah, and the black transferred. See? So I don't know if the wax transferred on here. We could try, but I don't know how well it'll work on the tissue, but we'll try it. Doesn't hurt to try, right? But I did want to show you guys with the stamping resisted with the wax, right? True Batik starts with light colors and progresses to dark, which you have to because you can't see the layers, right? It's Batik layering pattern. If they are translucent, you have to go light to dark. And that is, look at how many techniques do we do here on a Friday night that we always start light to dark. Unless it is opaque yellow, you're always going to see that pattern. So you always start with your light colors and build your dark ones on. So let's see if this resists, because we asked, right? There was lots of wax on that one. Will it work on the tissue? I don't know, but it's very, very soft. But probably this one worked a little bit, right? It's very hard to rub on this tissue paper without it buckling. So I can see it, but I'll show you. It's a little porous. You're not seeing a ton of it, but look at it subtly. It's there. Can you see it? A little bit. The green and black dots. It's fun, right? And look at what I used. The end of a pencil and a wax crayon, and then a background stamp. So what we did tonight, so I can remove the wax on any of these, right? I love this. If, like I said, with more intention and made better art, that on a background. So say you have a background you don't absolutely love. You could totally do your wax pattern and cover it in a darker pigment, right? I bought your matte acrylic gel and I can't remember what to do with it. There are 10 million, that product's been out for so long. It works as a decoupage medium. It works as a glue. It works as a resist. So if you use the matte acrylic gel, well, we did stuff with it, I think, already in this series, right? It's an excellent medium, but it will resist distress ink. So you could stamp in it, you could stencil in it, and then you could put pigment over top and it will act to cover your whole background. And you can't remove it even with heat. So lots of different things, right? And like I said, it's not the most beautiful art in the world, but look at this one. So this was a good one. Distress oxide, the pigment went through the wax a little bit. It stained it. So you're not going to have the crispness that you would with distress ink. So the question was, can I use oxide? You can. You're just going to get a different technique. One isn't better than the other. They're just different. I love the softness of that, right? And what else did we do? This one. But why did... So the stamping's on top. Why? Because I didn't wipe it off before heat set it. So it ironed right into the background. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Manage one page fun. Don't think it's too bad, but that could be the painkillers talking. We'll definitely try again when I have more patience. For sure, right? The whole idea should be just sit down and try it. And tonight, I don't think you should Picasso many backgrounds. I think tonight should be more practice, play, trial and error, what worked, what didn't work, what would I try differently the next time I do it. But I love some of these. Look at Greta made some pretty art. Look, and if you wipe that off, I love because you stamped with distress ink, so it doesn't stamp perfectly. So it already created, look at the stripes with using the side of a crayon. You could color the whole background of a page with the side of a crayon and then add the ink, and you would have this whole kind of looking sanded and distressed. I love it. I love it. Good job, Greta, with the mixed medias. So I am going to flip the camera here. And do you have any questions or anything you want to ask before you start trying and practicing this on your own? Hi. How are you? Question. How hard were you drawing with a crayon? Or is my color, or is it my color didn't contrast enough to really show the white? I'm coloring pretty hard. You have to deposit the wax, right? And depends, like if you're using a different type of crayon, what paper you're using, but I'm putting a lot of wax down, so pressing pretty hard. And that's why, like, I'm going to go through and it's hard when you think about it, because you can't really see where you're putting your pattern. So I don't know if I do super detailed patterns, but you could stamp and color in certain areas with a crayon and have resist, like, and then put your ink down. I'm just saying there's lots of things we can do, and something fun is coming down the pipeline. There's another technique we're going to be doing that is going to totally elevate this one. And like I said to Greta, I don't want to share too much tonight because it's too much information in one. But I'm going to have a drink. Sorry, I'm going to cough. Sorry, friends. So many places that we can take each one of these techniques. We are having a little nibble, a little taste, but you could have a whole 5-course meal with some of these techniques, is just by sitting, playing, pulling out other mediums, layering it, and doing this with maybe week 1. So that's what I was talking to my friend Greta. And I said, my plan with this, Greta, is I put down, I don't even know how many weeks I'm doing this. What did I decide? 8, I think. I don't know. When we're done all of this, part 2 is going to be where I say, let's take week 1 and week 5, put them together, and let's make a project. And we will actually make something out of them. So sit tight. Don't quit. Keep watching. Because if you're like, this is all fun, but because here's the whole thing, that a lot of North American crafters need a purpose. Like, okay, I'm going to do this, but I need to have something finished at the end instead of just being in and enjoying the process. Like understanding that there is wealth and value in the learning and the practicing and playing. Because then when you really keep sticking to it, the ideas are going to pop in your head, not just Vicki telling you need to do this next. Can you imagine taking a bunch of these, tearing them, gluing them to background, and then sewing all over it? What a beautiful textural background, album cover, card base that I could run that through dies and have these amazing handmade hearts out of all of my art that I made from my heart and my mind, my soul, and just practicing and playing. So what I'm saying is just keep sticking with me. Some of you guys that have been here now for a while, especially during the vid, when we were all hanging out and you were like, okay, I'm at home. What do I got to lose? Like, I've baked enough cookies, made the bread, tried the pottery wheel, and now I'm going to make some mixed media with this weirdo blonde Canadian girl who's trying to pressure me into doing all the things. And then you're like, I kind of like this weird blonde Canadian girl, and she has given me confidence in making things that I didn't really think were in my wheelhouse. And you're still here doing the thing. So stick with me. You're going to see where we're going to take this, because I want you to do homework. I don't want you to only what you make in this one session. I want you to take some of this, because you might go, ooh, that color combo I just did looks like barf. I don't like it. It's not my thing. So that right off is like, I'm going to try that just in pinks. The next one I'm going to do is just pinks, and I'm going to do one in just orange. I'm going to do one in grays. I'm going to do one in brown, whatever your color palette is. And then we're going to come back and we're going to mix all of the things. So on closing note, because if you're you could be watching this 3 years from now, so this will not pertain to you. So if you don't want to stick around, you don't have to. I want to remind you that if you like my mixed media, but you love doing the scrapbooking and paper crafting with me, my new collection with American Crafts is called Where to Next. And that collection kit that I sell is going to go live tomorrow for Canada and Canadians and North Americans. I ship. And it has a whole weekend plus event, because now I'm adding a whole bonus day on. Well, I already have a prep day and the meet and greet, and it's going to be a month-long event. But it's going to go live tomorrow, and I want to show you a few things. So if you're like, what does this collection look like? I'm intrigued. Let's have a little peek. So if this is your jam, this is the other thing Vicki Booten does and loves is paper crafting and scrapbooking. Look at the airplane. So this collection, pre-order, it's all upside down. Did you notice that? It's all upside down. Is going to go live tomorrow. I've already planned out. Oh, it's so good. It's going to go live tomorrow. I have limited kits because there's changes in with this one. So we're going to see. It's a test. We're going to test and see how this one goes, like by adding value in what I teach you, not just in a kit of product. Kit's still huge, but adding an extra day, it's going to go live tomorrow. There's going to be some add-ons that instead of, because most of you guys order all the add-ons, oh, the extra stamp and stencil. Maybe you want some of the chipboard and some of the new SKUs that are in there that are pretty pricey. So I'm going to bundle it all, but it can be added into your kit box. The one with the cards and the black foundations paper and the paint has to be ordered separately. Okay. So maybe you and your sister both want one. You could put 2 of those in a box, but you can't put it in the box with the kit because the album alone is this big, won't fit. Box cards will not fit in that box. Okay. So what I will say is, like, if you want to add the extra stamp and stencil, you definitely can put that in the box. They're flat. I can fit those. If you want to add like little things like adhesive, that can fit. You cannot put 2 kits in a box. If you order a kit or an order with 2 kits, I will cancel the order and you'll have to put it through a separate. It's not because I'm not trying to, that I would love to save you money on shipping, but it doesn't save you money on shipping, especially shipping to the US, because it doubles the price of shipping. So they have to be ordered separate. But, you know, shipping is just it's a fact of life, unless it's Amazon, and then they'll hand deliver it the same day you order it. But Vicki can't do that. So it's going to be so good. Is there going to be an add-on bundle option? Yes, Tracy. So I'll tell you, because what else do I have to do other than feed Greta, because we haven't had supper yet tonight at 10 o'clock. There's going to be the kit. And in the kit is the main things. Everything in that kit will be what you need for the class. That bonus day, I'm going to also do kit leftovers, but bundle one that can go in that kit box. I'm going to do some things with. So what are the kind of extra things we're going to do? Layered embellishments, because you guys love those tags that I made, where we just took embellishments and made little layered tags that you can add as a title block on a layout. It could go into a mini album. There'll be bonus pages for the mini album. It's just going to be kind of all those extra crazy things Vicki has in her head, but it's too much to put in the class days. So I will do things. Do you have to have it? No. But if you don't have it, you can't make those things. But the bonus full day of class is going to still use predominantly leftovers from the kit, but also some of the new SKUs that if I added those into the kit price, it's going to bring it up to like 260 Canadian, because it is what it is. So like prices have gone up. So the kit cost is going to go up a little bit, but I'm going to give you a whole bonus day of teaching just to give you as much value in it as you can. Okay. Waterfalls. I don't know, Paula, some of you guys wanted to string me up. I will do some more of those crazy interactive bits. As long you can't complain about it, you got to say I love it, it was the best thing I ever did, because then I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe they didn't love it. But tell me, right? Give me the feedback. What would you love to see in the next one? Right? What inspired the title Where to Next? Because it's my life. Travel, right? And you know, Jennifer, you love to travel too, so that's the whole thing. Where to next? So okay, I'm planning my travel schedule this year. Where to next? So that's the whole idea. The other plus is that even though it's a travel collection, some of our layouts are going to be everyday, summer, everyday, like travel can be like a day trip. So some of them, it won't be that you have to be planning this huge trip to Paris or something to use this. It's not going to be like that. The album will be, it's going to be a travel album, and do a travel album like that. But remember, we do 10 layouts, and the bonus day I'm going to say we'll probably get another 4 layouts at least in the bonus day, plus whatever you guys, if you want me to make tags, cards, whatever you want to do with mixed media. I want to add mixed media in that day too, so it's going to be good. And then in this second bundle that is not an add-on, that's how I'm going to name them. One's going to be called an add-on bundle, meaning it can go in the kit box. The other one is just going to be a bundle deal, and that's going to have the black foundations paper, the watercolor, the boxed cards. I don't know, maybe the washi tape I'll put in that one, because they're a little pricier. So if I bundle it and give you a little bit of a discount off of it, then you can just decide if you were going to order it anyway, you'll get a little deal. Would you guys like to have the black and the white foundations paper in it so it can kind of be a little mixed media kit, or do you want just the black? So I want to see what you guys think about that. For sure it'll be the black, and I'm going to price it out and just see the best deal that I can give you guys. So if you were going to order it anyway, it'll be there. So hopefully that will be good. Make sure, if you haven't already, what time live? I'm thinking 12 p.m. Eastern time, because I think that with all the different time zones, 12 p.m. I think is a good time. People should be up and moving. For my people in different parts of the world, it should still work, right? Will it come to Oz? Natalie's talking about it. She's asked me 3 times or twice for the list, but I hadn't completed it until just this week. So I was going back and forth and how much to add. And you guys know, just living, if you buy eggs, the price of everything's going up. So it's really one of those things that Greta's going to laugh at me because I said I wouldn't talk about this, but I do feel like I need to say it, is the price of everything is going up. Bringing it into Canada, the shipping, all of it's going up. So with the last kit, I didn't factor all of that in there the same. So I'm factoring it into this one. I'm still giving a value kit that you're still saving, that if you bought it outside and separately, you're still going to save at least 10%. I think more than that. I think it's probably like 20%, maybe 25%. Because we have determined Vicky's not good at math. I'm not good at the maths, right? Yeah, even paper is costing more. The pulp is, everything is going up. So guess what I said to my friend Greta? She's like, do you really want to do more? Holy crap, you spent 10 hours in an album class. And I'm like, I love being here doing the classes. So for me, it's added value that we're going to do a whole additional day now, a whole day of classes that added on. And for me, it's just a gift I love to give. Like, it's just part of value I can add to the class. So the one thing I've been very good at my whole career in paper, my whole life, is that I don't value my time the same. I think it's the kit value that you guys are only interested in, but really I don't think you keep showing up if it wasn't. I think the Vicky value is part of what you guys keep coming back for, right? Is that I just try to up it, make it a better experience every time, listen to your feedback, and just, I want it to be very well-rounded, make it accessible, easy to get into the group, find the information, have all of those classes recorded so you could watch it, rewatch it, do it live, whatever you want to do. So it'll be good, right? The classes get me to use my things, totally. So I'm going to get you to use all the things by the time we're done. So it'll be good. So, but the value is so much more with the event kit. It's all of your teaching. Love it. Thank you, Tracy. I always worry because I'm like, I don't know if people understand the 30 hours has value, right? So, right. Was never disappointed by your classes. Thank you. So it's going to be good. I hope you enjoyed Crayon Resist. Fun, right? Your investment was a wax crayon, some inks that you have on hand, the ideas you come with out of your beautiful brains, and then putting it on paper and making some beautiful things. And this is, like I said, just the beginning. So I can't wait till we go through this whole series and then come back and make some, absolutely, because you're going to be amazed at the projects we make out of all of this. So for any of you out there, and I can see you, the ones that aren't talking to me, that are looking, going, that's fun, but what the heck am I going to do with it? You wait. You'll be very sad if you don't try some of this stuff when I show you all of the things we can make with it next. So have a wonderful evening, friends. Have a great long weekend. hopefully you can make some time to create and do something special just for you. And I will see you. I'm here next Friday still, right? Haven't gone away. So see you next Friday. I don't even remember what next Friday is, but I know it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So thank you to my friend Greta for joining me tonight. She is awesome. And now I'm going to go spend some time. I'm going to give some Vicky time to her too, because she values
just want food,
right? She doesn't want me. She just wants the food. Whatever, Vicky, just feed me and shut up. That's what she's going to say. Don't talk. Just give me food. So I love it. Thank you.
bye.
Thanks, Nat, as always, too. And newsletter will go out probably midnight tonight because I'll write it after I feed Greta. And then it's going to be live, and it's going to be there for a while because it's not shipping for a bit, right? It's a pre-order. But I hope you're going to love Where to Next as much as I'm going to love creating with you guys. So have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday. All right, here we go.